Zombie apocalypse.
Hello everyone, AtomicDudMan here, and I'd like to welcome you to another
Nuclear News segment.
Today, I will be reporting on Warner Brothers games potentially making Hogwarts Legacy a live service title. Also, my latest video shows that 91.6% of you are not yet subscribed. If you could, please click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. What this channel is really about is pure gaming news, game reviews, and a voice for the community's wish list of what we want in future titles of upcoming video games. I try to upload at least one time a week, so if you want to be notified when a new video goes live, hit that small little bell icon down below. With all that being said, kick back, relax, and enjoy today's show. Warner Bros. Is betting big on live service title games. That at least seems to be the case judging by a recent internship listing that went up on the company's website, which emphasizes that Interactive Division has a heavy focus on live service. That means that this game, like Hogwarts Legacy, could take a Destiny 2 approach to the ongoing content that keeps people hooked over a long period of time with daily, weekly, and even seasonal tasks for players to partake in. If Warner Bros. Is going to successfully enter the live service arena, it's going to need to take some lessons from some major games that failed at doing the same. That means learning from one of 2020's biggest bombs, Marvel's Avengers. For the uninitiated, here's a quick refresh on gaming live service model. Unlike traditional titles that offer the bulk of their content up front, live service games are built to have a longer lifespan by bringing frequent updates over the course of years. Games like that can be a slam dunk, giving studios the kind of sustained player engagement that they can only dream of. But live service titles can just as easily become lead balloons that launch with a resounding thud. That's where Marvel's Avengers comes into play. Square Enix's attempt to capitalize on the success of the Marvel universe of the superheroes didn't quite go as planned. While buzz was positive for the game's short story campaign, its long-term vision left many underwhelmed by repetitive gameplay loops. There was plenty of gear to chase and cosmetic items to buy with real-world money, but few activities felt worth repeating over a long period of time due to the repetitiveness of these such activities, leaving the game feeling grindy and overall boring. There wasn't enough content variety to keep things really fresh in Marvel's Avengers. Even during the game's beta, fans were already wary of the light endgame potential and felt severely underwhelming. It didn't help matters that the game also launched with several bugs, forcing the developers to kick their plans for free updates later down the road. The game launched in September and didn't get its first major update until December. By that point, the player base had fallen off significantly and the game failed to recoup its development costs. It isn't just Avengers that's fallen victim to these live service caveats either. Let's take a look at another two examples, such as Fallout 76 and Anthem, which both suffered significantly similar and disappointing launches that turned a hopeful gamble into an uphill struggle to retain their player bases. Following a few rocky years of releases like that, it seemed like game studios might change course and figure out more consistent ways to hook players instead of chasing a risky dream. Warner Brothers is making it abundantly clear that it thinks there's still some gas left in that tank. It's entirely possible that it could succeed where many others have failed, but Warner Bros. Will need to set realistic expectations up front to win players over and have player transparency of what the game will actually be like if a live service is in place for this title. Live service game creators tend to serve up lofty promises prior to launch that they can't keep. During the hype tour for the original Destiny, Bungie painted the looter shooter something fans would be playing for 10 years plus. That set the stage for disappointment when players ran out of things to do within a short few months. A marketing selling point quickly became a liability for the company, opening up a segue for consumers to sue the company. The reality is that developers will never be able to keep up with dedicated fans who plow through content at light speed. The promise of continued support is always going to be one too difficult to ever truly deliver on. As Avengers showed us, there just isn't enough time or resources to balance both new content and the necessary bug fixes is for a newly released title. If fans are always expecting something new, it doesn't leave a lot of flexibility to tweak the experience based on the community's feedback. Rather than using live service as a carrot on the stick for hungry players, Warner Bros. Needs to focus on making content that's satisfying on day one and setting up a realistic roadmap that takes the unforeseen quality of life fixes into account as well. This means a focus on fun, replayable activities that fans will play regardless of the long-term benefit. Hogwarts Legacy can include tons of fun wizarding abilities, but it won't matter much if people don't actually want to play the game once they unlock them. This idea is especially true when it comes even down to the microtransactions associated with live service games. These live service games tend to go heavy on cosmetics for players can purchase with real life money, hoping to lure dedicated fans into a buying cycle of rinse and repeat of buying certain exclusive cosmetics during a certain time frame. It seems like an easy way to fish for whales, but it's far from a surefire bet. Special gear is only worth buying when players feel like they'll have plenty of chances to show it off. If the user base plummets, who cares if your broom lights up? The reality is that live service games sound like an easy way for companies to monetize, but they're very incredibly complex to tackle. Many major studios simply end up feeling underprepared when their games launch, such as Marvel's Avengers did. Marvel's Avengers to this day still stands as an unfortunate cautionary tale for companies to beware. If Warner Bros. Is actually serious about trying to approach this as a live service title, it needs to have a flexible plan and be ready to swiftly react to the community's feedback, and above all else, deliver a game that fans actually want to play for a long time. They need to make a Harry Potter / Hogwarts / Wizarding World type of game that's similar to Skyrim for players to keep returning for years and years and years to come if they want it to be a live service. But Skyrim is a beast in itself. It didn't launch as a live service, but it had downloadable content that footed the game to be much better down the road and gave players more content, and the modding community supporting that game also brought new life to Skyrim as well. But only time will tell if the live service beast becomes a reality with Hogwarts Legacy. There's some fantastic news for those of you that wanted an official Discord. There is now an official Discord for this channel, and I also have a Patreon if you want to further support me. Both links are down in the description below if you are interested. And if you enjoyed today's show, please make sure to subscribe because 91.6% of you are not yet subscribed, and I personally would really love to see you around the channel more often. What are your thoughts about Hogwarts Legacy becoming a live service? Let me know down in the comment section below because I need to know what you think about this. Make sure to hit that tiny little itty bitty bell icon to get notified once a week when a new video goes live. Stay tuned for another
Nuclear News segment.
I really do hope all you enjoyed your time with me, as I always do with you, your host, AtomicDudMan, and until next time.